Hi everyone, welcome back. I have a fantastic craft for you guys today. You may have or may not have seen this before, but I just thought it was such a great idea that I wanted to share it with you guys. If you like farmhouse decor, this will be right up your alley. So what you're going to need for this craft is a wide mouth mason jar, paint of your choice. I'm using chalk paint, but I have tinted it with some regular black matte acrylic paint to make it a really light gray color. You will need a foam brush, a ruler, possibly a paintbrush, an X-Acto knife, a pencil. Now, I prefer to use, I'm sure you guys have seen, I think they call it fun foam. They come in sheets like a sheet of paper, but they're made out of foam and they're thin. I prefer to use that for this project. However, the only piece I had was a thick piece. So instead, I am going to use a piece of white cardstock. You will also need some alcohol, a paper towel, and a package of Kleenex Perfect Fit tissues. Apparently, they say they sell these at Target. When I went to my Target, I couldn't find them. So what I ended up doing is I ended up ordering them online at, I can't remember if it was eBay or Amazon. But anyway, I got them in a 4-pack. And a glue gun. And I think that's going to do it for supplies. So let's get into this tutorial. And what we are making today is a Bless You tissue holder. I just love this idea. I think it's, oh, I love it. And it doesn't have to be farmhouse. I mean, you know, a farmhouse is like old and worn and, you know, like shabby chic type, but you don't have to make it old and worn looking. You can paint your jar and you don't have to distress it or anything. Now, normally, there's a few different ways that you can make this project. A lot of the people will buy the wide mouth mason jars that have no writing at all on it. Nothing, just a plain glass jar. That's fine if you want to stencil the words bless you on the jar, which I will show you an alternative way of doing that if you do not own a Cricut. I do not have one because I be poor. So I learned a different way to do it from Kelly Barlow. If you've ever watched her tutorials, she comes up with some fabulous, fabulous craft ideas. A lot of them are Dollar Tree inspired, but she taught me how to stencil, so to speak, without having to use a Cricut or a stencil. So I'm going to show you that little trick in this video. So if you would like to do that in this particular craft, then you will want to buy a jar that has no writing or anything on it. Just a plain old clear wide mouth jar. However, I do have farmhouse decor, so what I will do is I will paint my jar and do a little bit of distressing. If you would like to distress the jar once it's dry, you will need a fine grit piece of sandpaper. So to start this craft, all you're going to do is apply 2 coats of whatever type of paint that you want to use. So I have my paint here mixed up and my foam brush. And I'm just going to, you know, apply. You don't really have to do the rim, but you want to go right up to the rim, okay, with your paint. So kind of get like underneath this bottom rim. Okay, so I'm just kind of going around like this. If you could see that. I keep looking at the camera to see if you guys can see what I'm doing. One of these days, I will come up with a way to film my craft videos that's better than what I have right now. All right, so I'm just going around and then I'm going to kind of smooth it out, okay? Once you get around this rim done, then what you're going to want to do is just paint in one direction. Now, the pro to using a foam paintbrush rather than a regular paintbrush is you don't get the brush strokes in your paint when you use the foam brush. That's why I'm using it for this particular project. When I'm painting furniture or something like that, I prefer to use a regular paintbrush. So I'm just, I'm gonna, you know what, let me turn you guys down here a little bit so you can see. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to paint up and down like this. Hold the jar up here. And I'll tell you, one of the reasons that I love chalk paint is because it goes a long, long way. And you want to make sure you fill in between all your letters there with your paint. I got smart. I brought a piece of cardboard to paint on so I don't get it on my table. Less work for me. Woohoo! All right. Okay, so you guys get the gist here. I'm just, like I said, long strokes in you know, one direction going down. I'm not going sideways, just up and down. All right, and so you're going to do that to the jar with 2 coats, and once this is dry, I will be right back. Hi. Just wanted to pop on real quick and tell you that if you have a heat gun, that's a fantastic way to dry your paint in half the time. Just make sure if you're using a heat gun that you keep it moving and you don't hold it in one area for too long, and you'll be good to go and your piece will be dry in no time. Hi guys. I always am ahead of myself. And I just wanted to mention, because you're probably wondering, what the heck do you need the alcohol for? Well, I forgot to tell you, before you even paint your jar, you want to take your rubbing alcohol and a paper towel, put your alcohol on your paper towel and wipe down the jar. That way it gets rid of any oils or anything on the jar that will stop your paint from sticking. So just clean your jar really well with the alcohol and let it dry completely before you start painting it. I am so sorry. I just get so excited to start the craft that I leave out the most important part. Okay, I am back with a pretty dry paint job here. So because I do like the farmhouse decor, I am going to distress this just a little bit. So I'm going to take my fine grit sandpaper. This is, what is this? This is 100 grit. It's not real fine, but And I'm just going to, let me point you down here so you can see what I'm doing. Move you a little bit closer. I'm just going to take the sandpaper and go over the raised parts of the jar. You can see it's already starting to come off. Just very lightly. See? That's the look I'm going for. And then I'll go along here where the lines are on the side of the jar. Just lightly. And also, I'm going to go over, there's numbers there as well, and I'm going to try to bring those up. There you go, you can kind of see there. Now on this side, there is a pattern of grapes and different, what is it, grapes and other fruits and leaves. And I'm just going to lightly try to go over that and bring out just on the raised areas. This side, this will be facing the wall because really I want the ball insignia to show. Okay. See if I can. Okay. All right. So finish doing this here. What I did is I just grabbed my heat gun to speed up the drying time so I could finish this video for you guys. It would be really cute if I could have done the bless you on it, but I don't have any mason jars that don't have writing. So this is what we have. Okay. Normally I would do a little distressing on other areas of the jar, but I could do that at a later date. Also, and this is your preference, you can paint your lid or you could leave it plain. I chose to paint the lid and I put a couple coats on the lid, and the jar, I actually ended up doing 3 coats. All right, now, you are going to take this cap that came with your jar, and you are going to take your piece of cardstock, and let me show you here. Let me bring you down a little more. And all I'm going to do is just trace around this with a pencil. Okay, so I have my scissors and now I'm just going to cut this out. Much easier to cut off the big hunk of cardstock instead of having it hanging there. Okay, let me get this out of my way. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our ruler. I have like sandpaper shrapnel. Okay, and we are going to make an X. Where's my pencil? Here it is. We're going to make an X. Now, you don't want to go all the way to the ends of the circle. You want to stay at least 1/4 of an inch away from the edges of your circle when you draw your X. And try to get it semi into the center of your circle. Okay. Wow, I can't find the center of anything. But anyways, you get the idea. So I have my X, and let me slide this over a minute. And then I'm going to take my X-Acto knife, and I am going to cut along my lines here. So you guys gotta just bear with me, because this is my first time doing this DIY myself. So, you know, you're seeing all my mistakes, so you'll know when you go to make this, what not to do and what to do. All right, I'm gonna turn this over, and I'm gonna try to do it from the other side. Like I said, I really wish I had a piece of that fun foam on hand, but I don't, unfortunately. All right, so we have our X. We have our X cut out, okay? So now what we're going to do, and I prefer to glue this into my cap, because you know, sometimes you could get rough, you know, pulling your Kleenex out, and I don't want to pull it out. So I'm just going to put a little bead of glue along the inside of the rim here. Like that. And then I'm going to lay this in here. Push it down in there. All right, and whoops, darn it. So this is what you're gonna have. This is the inside, and then this is the outside. All righty, so it's seeped out a little bit here, so I'm just gonna kind of clean that off. All right. So let me move this since I'm done with the painting. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take your container of Kleenex. Going to pull the lid right off of here, if I could get it. You could just pull it off. And then what you're going to do is pull your Kleenex out and keep them all intact. You don't want to disturb any of your Kleenex. So you're going to pull them out just as they were inside of here. And then we are going to drop them right into our jar. We're going to screw our lid on. And then we're going to feed our first Kleenex through. As I said, it's going to be a little more difficult with this cardboard because it's really stiff. So I'm just kind of bending it up a little bit, and pull your Kleenex. Yay! All right. Let me bring this up so you could I don't know, guys. I love this. And there you have it. So, as I said, I really, really wish I could have did it with the bless you on it. And I'm going to show you this trick to do this on your jar without having a Cricut. As long as you have a printer and a computer, you're good to go. So, what I did is I have a program on my computer. It's called Printmaster. It's for making cards and stuff like that. But I believe you could also do it on like your Microsoft Word and Open Office, any of those programs. And I went on and I typed the word bless you, bless, and then I went down one and did you. So I will show you how it looks just plain like this. And depending on how big you want it, you know, you can make it any size that you would like. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take just an ordinary number 2 pencil. Let me turn you down here. And you can see from behind where your writing is. What you're going to do is you're going to take your pencil and you are going to cover the entire area that your writing is on. Just keep covering the whole word. Okay? And you're going to do the same for your other word. This is what it looks like from behind. Okay? So now, in order to transfer your words onto your jar or whatever it is that you are putting them on, I'm trying to figure out, I guess I'll just show you on this piece of cardboard here. If I can grab it. I have no nails, guys, and I can't pick anything up. All right. So, what I'm going to do, just say this is your jar. You are going to take your writing and you are going to put it like this onto your project, okay? With some tape to hold your paper on. And then what you're going to do is you are going to trace along your item with your pencil or whatever you have. And you know, of course, you're going to take your time. I'm just doing this kind of fast so I can show you guys. I'm sorry, my cat is right under my tripod playing with something and he keeps knocking it. All right, so I'm just going to do this one word for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. There. So the word has been transferred onto your piece. And then all you have to do is take your paint and fill it in. Just fill in all your letters. What I like to do, my secret is I outline the word in black Sharpie first, and then I fill it in. So I hope that helped you guys out. I love this idea, especially for those of us who cannot afford to go out and spend, you know, $200 or $300 on a Cricut. This is an alternative to that. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you guys will give it a try. If you do make one of these, please share it on my Facebook page, The Thrill of the Thrift. I will put the link in the description box below. I will put Kelly Barlow Creations link in the description box below. And I also wanted to let you guys know that I do have a P.O. box now. So if anybody wants to send me friend mail, just a little note saying hi, I will also leave that address in the description box below. All right, guys, until the next video, Take care, like, share, and subscribe. See you next time. Bye for now.